event booking. Oh, that would be such a dagger in his, like, actual really wild claim. Hold on. Let me bring it up here and look a little deeper. Alright, where? Where do you go to see that, Silver? At the very top? Oh, well, yeah, actually, it is literally called Smash World Tour Super Smash Con Fans and Family, yeah. How long did it take you to find this? Yeah, because this was absolutely booked. It is literally named after it. Yeah. So, again, that is just a blatantly wrong statement. It was the Genesis reply to Alan. Oh, Genesis replied to them about it. Like the actual Genesis? Oof. This too. What's this? The Techport Center, aka the venue website, had an event page for Smash World Tour as recently as November 27th. It's been removed sometime since. And then here's the cache. Yeah, so this is yikes. So it's just wrong then. Like his claim is just wrong. Thanks a gift sub, Dylan. Yeah, that was just unequivocally false. Which is a very bad thing. That's a huge lie to make. To claim that they may not have ever had intentions of fully running it. So no way. Wait, is this from one of the TOs of Genesis? Holy shit, this is actually from a TO of Genesis giving a character witness statement on Alan. This is, as I've just learned, Genesis is like an official licensed partner with Nintendo, or at least has been. Got some shit to say, not going into detail, but from the very first moment Alan opened his mouth to the last time we spoke, nothing but snake-like sounds could be heard, like that shit in Harry Potter. Parcel tongue, my man. It's called parcel tongue. That's aggressive. Again, this is all hearsay, but I think it's important to note, every TO so far has only had negative things to say about their interaction with Alan. There has not been a TO to come forward as like a positive character witness for Alan yet. Now, maybe that's because the public pendulum has swung against him and they might be a little fearful. That's very possible. But the sheer amount of very similar stories that these TOs are sharing about him is a little absurd. Like the volume. Like it seems like that'd be a hard thing for all of them to come together on as like a fuck this guy kind of thing. One thing for sure that was constantly reiterated in our calls was that Smash World Tour would be canceled, that Smash World Tour would be blacklisted, and that Gimmer was blacklisted, and it was only a matter of time before they were shut down because, trust me, I know. Trust me was a term he used a lot. He at one point called himself the savior of Smash on a call. This is a lot. Again, this is more just like hearsay. There's no evidence, but this is like the 9th or 10th TO to share very similar experiences. In one call, it was confirmed that he was to be the licensed broker for the whole scene. This has the potential to be really, really bad for everyone. That means eventually, if he wanted to, you would have to be part of the Panda Cup to get a license, one person having the keys. If that's true, that is a massive problem. Obviously for the reason he points out, but also if he just doesn't like you, he never has to grant you that license, And thus, if the time of unlicensed events is truly behind us, like Nintendo said in their call with Smash World Tour, if all of that's true, then that means you would not be able to run events without Alan's blessing as the license broker. Assuming, of course, this is all very, like, on the nose accurate shit. I can go on and on, but generally most of the shit he's saying in that 31-page garbage tweet is a lie. It's riddled with manipulative ways of speaking, and it's just more of what I expect of a guy who thinks he's the fucking savior of Smash. This is, I guess, an important perspective because he is the TO of a very big event that is also licensed by Nintendo and was not even mentioned in Alan's tweet or in Alan's statement. Thus, he was not put on the defensive. He didn't need to say anything. He wasn't forced to say anything. He's doing this because he felt so strongly about it with his own interaction. He had absolutely no stake in this other than just wanting to come out here and give his take on how he feels about it based on how he's talked with Alan. So this, I think, is a pretty big one. Thanks for the gift sub, Dylan, and Tier 1 Gideon. Thanks to the resub, Soto. He's not the only TO for Genesis. It doesn't matter if he's the only TO for Genesis, though. He is a TO that has personal experience with Alan, apparently. And being a TO of Genesis is a big deal because he was not named in this at all. Like, that's still an important perspective. I don't know why you're writing it off. TO is tournament organizer. Bobak is an OG. I believe him with my life. Yeah, a lot of people in chat were saying Bobak has a lot of goodwill in the community and has been a really like powerful TO for a long time in terms of like the good he's done for the scene. So this is a statement that does have quite a bit of weight to it. Here's the other main TO for Genesis statement. Damn, everyone's coming forward with statements now. I mean, this was a bombshell from Alan. Even though there was no evidence, it was still a very huge thing for the community. Here, let's pull this one up. So this is another Genesis TO, again, not named in Alan's document whatsoever. They had no horse in this. I want to see what he says. So Crimson Blur is standing up for Ken as a character witness for how they've worked together. To add on to this, I'd like to cite a situation that happened between Genesis and BTS that Ken could have completely thrashed this over privately and publicly, but didn't really even get mad or remotely raise his voice. So this is them defending Ken in what was a very aggressive stance from Alan against Ken. So this isn't him so much talking about Alan here, it's more just defending Ken. Which pokes holes in Alan's interpretation of Ken, posting him as some kind of like boogeyman in the scene. Why is there always so much drama in the Smash community? Isn't it crazy? It's so fucking sad, too. Because it's all so easily avoidable. It all could have just been so simple. Didn't have to get messy at all. Does anyone have evidence of the communication with Nintendo itself, or is it just between the tournament organizers? Actually, what has Nintendo done during this whole thing? Yeah. So Smash World Tour does have the emails that transpired between them. Of course, they don't have the verbal communications. That, again, is going to fall into hearsay. But they are the only ones that actually have legitimate evidence of what Nintendo has done and what they have said. Everything else is just hearsay. And in Alan's statement, he makes a blatantly false claim that was provably wrong and proven wrong very quickly about it being like a gambit that may have never even wanted to happen, the hotel not even being booked. That is wrong. You cannot make a big lie like this in a statement where you're supposed to be very much a believable narrator, a trustworthy narrator. This lie is a huge red flag for the actual authenticity of the rest. It's such a fucking shame, man. Ugh. At the end of the day, I still think the biggest villain is Nintendo themselves. Had they just been more receptive to working with the community a decade ago, we would have never been in this position to begin with. It would have never happened. There would be no power trips. There would be no hearsay, no he said, she said shit, no potential misinterpretations, no bad blood. Everyone would be on the same goddamn page. It would have been so fucking simple. Thanks to the resub rat sack. Look at Slime's pin or look at Slime's retweet. Let me see. Where? I don't see anything there that's pertinent to this. Yeah, I'm on Slime's Twitter. I don't see anything that's even about this. Oh, I didn't. I didn't. I don't know how I didn't see that. It was right under the pinned tweet. Here, I'll just pull it up on screen. I spent over 2 years working with Ken in an office, never heard him yell or be out of line in even our biggest disagreements. Ken actually taught me a lot about being level-headed and evaluating tough situations with care, especially in meetings / BD initiatives. The amount of people coming out to defend Ken's character speaks volumes. Alan seems to be the only one with this view of Ken. No one else has come forward to corroborate Ken being an asshole. So that pokes doubt in that entire section. Because again, it's all just hearsay. Even the character witness statements are just them giving their own anecdotal proof. But there's so many of them, whereas Alan is just one. And for what it's worth, I have also talked to Ken. Since having Moist Esports and being more intertwined with the community, I have also talked to Ken, and I have nothing but a positive experience with him as well, but I don't know him to the same level as everyone else. As someone coming from the Dota community, Ken has been nothing but professional during his time. Yeah, that sounds about right. Thanks to resub Boiler, Yukiwi, and the Prime Gentleman. More and more OG members of the community come out to talk about Alan being a snake, makes it harder and harder to believe a word he says. Exactly. At the end of the day, it is all hearsay, but with so many people all saying similar things about their interaction with Alan, and so many people coming together on Ken's side about how his interpretation in Alan's document makes no sense based on the years they've spent working with Ken, I really think that speaks a lot. Kadoran just posted something. What'd Kadoran say? I can corroborate this claim, and this is with Bobak's statement.
Signing me, what would get the ground rolling to have me sponsored under Panda? And straight up, what Dr. Allen told me was like, yeah, the thing is that I don't really believe in Melee.
Weird thing to say when they have Melee players, one of the best in the world.
Numbers just aren't there. The numbers just aren't there. Like I believe in Ultimate more because there's all these YouTube numbers, and then you look at Melee's YouTube numbers, and it's just not there. And if I were to sign someone like you, it's like I would maybe give you like $500 a month.
Jesus Christ. Again, it's just hearsay with verbal conversations, but that is yet another one against Alan, and this is to corroborate Bobak's claim about him not caring about caring about Melee. This is him corroborating what Bobak was saying with his interaction. These are totally unrelated people, by the way. Kadoran has nothing to do with Bobak. Bobak is a TO for Genesis. Yeah, I mean, this is a lot. It's a lot. Thanks to the resub Falma. Hey, Rickles. No, of course, man. This is something I'm very passionate about. Without the Smash community, there wouldn't have been a Moist Esports. Like, it's a community that I'm very much deeply passionate about. Don't even know what Genesis is besides Alan angered them. Well, Alan didn't anger them though. Like, Alan didn't even mention Genesis. And Genesis is huge. You don't know Genesis? Like, even outside of Smash, Genesis is just fucking massive. For fighting games. I guess if you're not in the FGC, you won't care. But with their interaction, they just felt so strongly that they wanted to come forward to talk about it. They didn't have to say anything. Like, Alan didn't mention them, didn't throw any kind of shade or shit, take a stinky little dump on him or anything. They just felt so strongly about him being untruthful in his statement that they wanted to publicize it. He did? Where? When did he mention Genesis? Other than when they didn't sign. Oh, this is like when he was talking about their positive interactions. Yeah, it wasn't anything negative about Genesis. Yeah. And then they mentioned him for a licensed event without being part of Panda Cup. See? Oh, that was your point. He made them hate them so much that they came out against him, even with Alan being nice in his statement to them. That is a good point, I suppose, yeah. Alan used them as an example of a positive interaction, yet Genesis did not have a positive interaction with him. That's not how they viewed it. That is a fair point. Man, fuck me. The question now is, does Nintendo go full scorched earth on licensed events? Unlicensed events. I fucking hope not. In the most ideal of circumstances, this whole situation is a big scar on the Smash community, but it heals with Nintendo taking the first step saying, this is a mess. Boys, we done made a big ol' shit stain on these britches. But it has shown us the passion of the community, and we want to work closely with other organizers. I don't see that happening. I certainly don't see it happening. But that would be the absolute optimal outcome. Thanks to the bit snert. Also, I just heard Tetra try and open the bedroom door, so I'm assuming she needs to go out. I'm gonna go take Tetra out real quick. I'll be right back. I'm back. Ugh. Oh, that was so unlucky on that timing, Bruce. Oh, fuck me. Thank you for the raid. I hope you had a great stream. I'm sorry. I had to take Tetra out. There's a resub, Cat, and Super Goose, and Bug. Oh, you're still here, thank God. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate the raid. I hope you had a great stream. How long were you gone? I was only gone like 4 minutes. Tetra just had to go out. Is it Prime Koi? What's that, Peanuts? Is that another statement? Is it Prime Lucas? And Phantom? A tweet from the second Beyond the Summit member from the call between Alan and Ken. Let's see. Okay, so this is from someone that was in that call, that now infamous call in Alan's statement. The way I see it, Alan called us and tried to insinuate that he was slam dunk going to get all the TOs on Panda Cup and that Nintendo was requiring streams be on Panda Cup channels because that way they could have greater degree of control over the content therein. We pushed back, had existing broadcasting agreements with them, and any agreement short of them buying us out of the agreements would be directly damaging to us. 3 days later, Alan says Nintendo wants to talk to us about the legality of tournament broadcasts on our channel. So this was the other person in there? Oh. Real evidence. Actual real evidence for the first fucking time tonight. Like, this is proof that this guy is who he claims to be and was in this call at the very least. Of course, what was said on the call could very much be a lie, but I noticed my webcam's blocking it there. But that's good. That's a good start. We have an actual receipt here to prove that this guy was on this call and he is corroborating what now 2 people are saying. Right now, Alan is the only one amongst an entire community of TOs that are all coming out at the same time, even TOs that weren't mentioned in Alan's documents coming out to go against him. Even when they didn't have to, even when they had no horse in the race, they just all had a negative experience. This guy was on the call and is claiming that the threat of like getting Nintendo involved was a real thing that happened. That is now 2 people making the exact same claim from the same call. Like that feels pretty substantial. When it's hearsay on both sides, like that seems important. There's more that cheat talked about. This, by the way, is something Nintendo walked back immediately. When Alan talks about concessions he made to the Panda Cup tournaments on this shit, it comes after Nintendo had calls with them, had calls with all your favorite tournaments and realized he was scaring the ever-loving fuck out of them. That is an interesting statement because that ties into something Smash World Tours briefly mentioned in their statement that Nintendo was having an internal investigation against Alan's behavior. That checks out with a statement made by Smash World Tour's initial statement. There's the Prime Polo Man and the resub Connor. Next to the Prime Neptune. A lot to mentally keep track of. I know. Well, it's actually really not. There's only one perspective that has no support behind it in terms of other people in the scene, and that's Alan's. Alan released his statement, and every TO in the scene right now, even ones not associated with the named ones in Alan's statement, have come out against him, talking about how manipulative and untrustworthy he was in their conversations with him being very bad. Like, everyone is against Alan, at least in this scene. Like the TOs, the tournament organizers, none of them are agreeing with anything Alan has said at all. Deer, a TO working with both Panda and VGBC, confirmed Alan threatened to shut down Smash World Tour last year. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. How... Literally every tournament organizer in all of Smash right now is coming out against Alan after his statement. He blew the floodgate open. I can corroborate that at Summit in November 21, I was verbatim told that Smash World Tour won't exist anymore, so being involved in both circuits was not something I'd have to worry about. And this is someone that has worked with both Panda and what was it? Panda and VGBC? I think the bit's vegan. Yes, I know vegan. We talked to them about that the entire way. Was there evidence for anything besides responses on Twitter? As much as I want to believe the TOs, it's been hard to take anything at face value. Well, no, because it's all hearsay. Except for Mikey. Mikey's the only one right now that's posted a screenshot of him being in that call that was where the threat was made. Like, allegedly where the threat was made. He has confirmed he was in a call with them that is mentioned in all of the statements from Alan and Ken. But in Alan's statement, there is also no evidence of anything other than hearsay. The whole thing is built up on hearsay, except the initial statement from Smash World Tour, which has the actual facts from Nintendo. They have evidence from Nintendo, but everything else is hearsay. Did you see the Yeah, we already looked at Bobak's thread. Thanks for the 5 gift subs, Leos. Appreciate it, man. Just buy Panda shares and join both teams together. Yeah, I'll ask Lud if he wants to go 50-50 on buying Alan's shares, and then we'll be able to hopefully do something good with the Nintendo relationship. That would actually be unironically super fucking hype, I'm not gonna lie. Hey Connor, good to see you, man. You're loving this, aren't you? Actually, not at all. I think this is the worst thing that could have happened to the Smash scene. I couldn't imagine a more disastrous... Well, actually, I could. Another one of those, like, pedophile gates. But, like, aside from that, I couldn't imagine a second worse thing quite like this. Thanks to the bits, janitor. So this is also from Deer again. Someone that has worked with both Panda and VGBC. In the same meeting, he mentioned one day hoping to buy/own Battle of BC and the events on the Cup. That's what triggered me to be wary of him from the jump. I think Bobak has captured things well. Bobak being the Genesis TO. Thanks to the resub, Noah. When does God Slap 2 start selling? Hey, fuck yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're so hyped. 12 hours from now it goes up. Deadass, you could save Smash by buying the Panda shares and using Nintendo Bridge for good. That, I mean, again, that'd be very expensive. On like, no doubt about that. And there's no telling if Panda or if Nintendo wants to even honor that relationship going forward. Because after all this, I think there's a very real chance they back out entirely and never come back. Which is why I think this whole situation is fucking terrible. Exit tier 1 glue and the resub Velmond. I don't think white people think Nintendo are going to get involved. There's been more intense shit like the pedo stuff that they looked over. Bro, Nintendo is like a family branded entertainment company. They're not going to come take a hardline stance about like pedophiles that play their games. That just shines a light on it and it'd be worse for them. I never expected them to do anything. Anyone that did was out of their mind. I mean, maybe I toyed around with the idea like, man, this is so big Nintendo might get involved, but in the back of our heads, I'm sure we all knew they wouldn't. Yeah, I already watched Kadoran's clip. Nintendo might not think about ever being partners after this. Again, that's what I've been saying. That's what I'm most concerned with. Only company that wants people to stop playing their games. I know. I know. Nintendo partnerships has just been, hey, let us run ads at your tournament. They've never been invested in the Smash. They've never invested into Smash at all competitively. And that's fine. Just having their blessing, knowing that they won't get shut down, is actually just good enough. It'd be great if they put money behind it or production behind it or a team behind it, but like that's not even necessary. Just having their blessing. Like, we are official partners. You're not getting shut down. Like, this is fucking good enough. He's a prime clown. New slime tweet. Okay. A week later, I had to walk the verbal offer back and say we're going with VGBC. We had discussions where Ken frankly but cordially said he was very disappointed and didn't like how negotiation was handled. That Ken is completely at odds with the Ken and Allen statement. Okay, so Slime is replying to TO from BT. Genesis. This was the head TO for Genesis. And he was coming out to defend Kin's character, saying that what Alan's saying about Kin makes no sense with the Kin that I've talked to. Even in the most heated of times, Kin had never done anything quite even close to the level that Alan said. And now this is Slime saying the same thing. I was in these meetings and can confirm we were bummed about the walk back but didn't throw a hissy fit and ended up working with Genesis the next year. Do you think Alan wasn't expecting the people Do you think Alan wasn't expecting people to tear this essay apart? I don't know what he was expecting. I really don't. It's, again, if he put any level of real thought into it, he would not have published this. I think you can pick apart this however you want. At the end of the day, there's no evidence, like even from everyone coming forward to defend the character of other people, there isn't evidence to corroborate that other than their own experience. Which there is an overwhelming amount of support for Kin, whom Alan calls out directly as being a piece of shit or the boogeyman doing all these horrible things. Everyone has come out to defend Kin. No one said anything quite like Alan or even close about Kim. And there's also been an overwhelming flood of people to come out to shit on Alan. People that weren't even named in this statement. People that Alan actually named as a positive experience have come out and said, actually, Alan was a terrible experience for us. We don't like him. He's a snake. But again, it's all hearsay. But there is one factually wrong statement that he makes that is a blatantly incorrect lie. And I just don't think that should be overlooked. You can feel however you want to feel about his claims and whatever about VGBC and BTS. That's all totally fine, because it's going to be up to you as an individual and how you feel about it. But he makes one just blatantly wrong lie about it not being booked, it never having existed, about how he believed that the Smash World Tour was a gambit that they may not have even planned on actually doing. He then says that they didn't have a block. That is wrong. You can go on the Marriott's website right now, which we already did, and they have an entire block called Smash World Tour Fans and Friends. It's just a lie. Was his other claim backed up by evidence? No, there is no evidence for his claims. It is just hearsay. His screenshots are him confirming like conversations he's had. Like, oh, they didn't join us. They didn't join us this time. We gave them a carrot. They said no, they don't want to join. Like he's showing screenshots where he doesn't freak out or anything, but that's not evidence to disprove anything that was been talked about. Don't forget he doesn't know LD apparently. That is another thing that is just blatantly, I can't even call it blatantly a lie because it's so ridiculous. This just had to be some kind of brain fart. This is another thing in his statement that is just completely unbelievable that it would even be in here. He says he doesn't know who LD is, yet praises Beyond the Summit, which is LD's company, as one of the fucking key members of BTS since the beginning. He would know who LD is. I don't think the hotel is evidence that could be created by fans for rooms. No, like the block is there though. Like on the Marriott's site, it is booking through them for the Smash World Tour event. Can you start that as a normal person? Because not only that, but all of the travel was booked and stipend for like players and stuff. But like on the actual Marriott, you can actually book a room for that event. For the fans and friends bundle. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you can do that as an individual. That seems like something only the hotel would be able to do. That seems very dangerous if you give people the power to make their own bookings on their fucking hotel. Here is yet another... What is this? Oh no, this is just someone in the space. This is not a TO. This is again just another... name to add to the pile of people talking about and corroborating statements against Alan. Since one of the TOs has mentioned it publicly now, I've heard from nearly every major TO say that Alan talked about wanting to buy out the rights to their tournament brand. His goal was to own the entire ecosystem. This is like the fucking 10th or 15th TO saying the exact same thing. He's a prime Caleb. He's a prime Carson and the Bits Plutonian. Is this lore for Warhammer Dark Tide? Yeah. I work in hotels. You have to go through the group desk department to make those kind of bookings. So it is like an official booking? Well, hold on, what was your name? Jax. So, like, the Smash World Tour fans... Here, let me just pull it up. It'll be much easier. Oh my god, I've opened so many fucking tabs. Okay, I don't feel like strolling that far back. On the site for the Marriott, it was the Smash World Tour fans and family booking. Like That was where you were booking at that Marriott for that event, and then you book your rooms under it. Is that something that needed to go through the hotel officially as like, yes, we have this event, and here's how you book it? Or is that something that anyone could have set up? Oh, it was fans and friends? I thought it was fans and family. Oh, here. Hold on, Jax. This. Thanks for the link, Silver. Yeah, this is what it is on the site, on the Marriott for this event. Wait, why is it saying temporarily unable to display the information? You give me a dead link? No, it's not working for me. It's saying it can't display it. I'd already pulled it up once on stream, so it's in the VOD. Voice crack. It's in the VOD regardless. But anyway, Jax, everything I described, is that something that anyone can do, like on the official Marriott site, or does that have to be from the hotel with the event booked? I didn't see what you said. Yes, you'd have to talk to them on the phone, block a certain amount of rooms at a specific price point for the people coming in. It takes time and a bunch of paperwork. Okay, that makes sense. That's how I thought it would be. But chat seemed to think anyone could do it. I just wanted a little more confirmation. Of course, I can't confirm you actually work at a hotel. But, I mean, it's better than just saying, no, anyone can make it a booking on Marriott under any name. That seems weird. Like booking an event at the Marriott under any name. Plus, it also seems like a lot of work to have done in less than an hour. Thanks to the bits, Bob. Link works now. I'm already over it. I don't need to pull it up. I got rejected twice. I already pulled it up once. Maybe he didn't lie. He was just misinformed. That's not like, but you can't be here. One of your first statements being a provable lie immediately cast doubt on the rest of your claims. It's not really an excuse. It says it was paid and booked back in November, so it wasn't even made recently. Huge. He's a prime vab. We really would love to know when you're finishing Devil Me. Oh, is Jackson streaming? I'm down to finish it soon. Like, can do it tomorrow. Oh, Jackson's not even streaming. Where did you... Why are you saying we? Yeah, I'm down to finish it soon. We. Why hasn't anything been done about Alan till now? Did Nintendo know about this and just not care? Well, I can tell you why they wouldn't do anything about it. Like, Ken even alludes to it here. It's just a disaster for the scene. Had all of this information about Alan come out, that's terrible for everybody. It's bad for the whole scene. You don't want that. Like I said, the Smash orgs have always had this at least as I understand it, this you succeed, we succeed mentality, because it's all grassroots. When one is succeeding, it is helpful for all the other ones around it. So you don't want to see one crash and burn because that hurts everybody around you. So of course they wouldn't want to come forward with some kind of like expose on Alan and him overstepping his line. He's a gift sub Carson. Main stage TOs ate well because of this though. Viewership was the same, man. The viewership was still at 40 to 50, well 40 to 60K ballpark, which is great viewership. But yeah, they got a lot more people to go to it that canceled Panda. That is true. Smash viewership has been very consistent recently, and it's only been going up steadily. Pretty much every major averages between 30 to 50K. In all of the ones I've watched over the last year. Shit. The most recent summit, I think it was, went up to like 80. He's a tier 1 James. Genesis and Evo used to hit 100K before COVID. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks to Prime. Chorpug. Thanks, Resub Spooky. Don't you think Technical's banned Nairo shit is a part of this? He was able to get into a VGBC event because they had no security. Super irresponsible to not be checking people as they come in. He would have been able to do that at any esports event ever. All he did was just go in a disguise. What are they going to do? Pull the hat off him and check? Like, I certainly don't think that was at any point a reason for health and safety concerns from Nintendo. I've been to quite a few esports events, and it's usually they check your bag, they check your ID. Do you have a ticket? All good on all this? Go right in. Like, it's not like he was on the FBI's most wanted list or anything. He's just, at the end of the day, he is just a guy they didn't really want there, but went anyway. Like, it's not like the security's gonna have like a fucking wanted poster behind him with like a bounty. And they just somehow made a huge mistake by letting him in. That absolutely had nothing to do with the health and safety concerns. This is a tweet from a Panda employee. Is this a new one? Because we had one from earlier. Okay, let's bring this one in. Last Friday, Panda had an internal town hall meeting where Alan spoke to us, and many of us had the chance to speak in the call and ask questions. I urged Alan to speak the truth and to even consider a public third-party moderated video call with VGBC and or BTS to hash things out. It's a fair suggestion. Enjoyed my journey with Panda and Panda Cup over the years. Pretty sure everyone at Panda did. Oh, he's just talking about his time there. This isn't for or against Alan. Thanks the resub, Greasy. It seems like a lot of people just want to talk. Yeah, it feels like since all of this has happened and the lid's already been blown wide open, everyone's coming forward with their experience with Alan, and right now every single one of them has been negative, and each one is corroborating the others, even from unrelated TOs. They're all sharing extremely similar experiences negatively about Alan. So far, there hasn't been any positive accounts of his character. His wife just tweeted. Yeah, I already went through the Boback thread. Supporting is a death sentence? No, not really. Like I saw, I think it was Coney. Coney was like, I never really had any reason to believe Alan was anything other than nice. I had a good experience with him. That said, terrible situation, and then talked about all of the people coming forward with their horrible accounts of him. Like, there's of course going to be people that had good experiences with him. There absolutely will be. But those people are not the TOs, the people that he was directly communicating with in like a business capacity. Thanks the prime bread and Cinta. Thanks the resub panic attack. Yeah, I already watched the Kadoran clip. I'm pretty sure I've seen everything now. It's fucking 2:30 a.m. I don't think there's gonna be any more like big statements coming out. But yeah, this was a lot to take in. This was a pretty wild development here. Thanks the 2 gift subs, insufferable. Emphasize not to attack the players or staff. Oh, I don't